Hello everyone, my name is Arvind. In this video we'll see about the fried liver attack. It goes like e4, black responds with e5, knight to f3, black plays knight to c5, defending his pawn. Now white plays bishop to c4. Now if black isn't careful, he might run into the fried liver attack. Say for example, if black plays knight to f5, white responds with knight to c6 with a double attack on the f7 pawn. If black isn't careful, say if he plays something like bishop to c5, white captures on f7 with the knight with a double attack on the queen as well as the rook. Obviously black has to move its queen and the knight captures the rook. Now it's very difficult to get this knight out, but white is up the exchange. So let's go back. So there's a very simple way to counter this. So at this level, black has to play pawn to d5, blocking the bishop. White will usually take. The knight on c6 is under attack. Black moves it to d4. Now white can continue with its plan of the fried liver attack by pushing d6. Now the best move people would suggest is to recapture the pawn, but you have to recapture it with the queen. White would be still joyous because he still get to execute his plan of capturing the pawn with the knight, and his double attack of forking the queen and the rook still applies. So it is very important to note where you place your queen next. c6. If white is greedy here and if he captures the rook, notice that the g2 pawn is hanging. So the queen takes g2 with an attack on the h1 rook. White would obviously move its rook. Now queen to e4 check. If white blocks with the queen, notice the knight on the d4 square will be able to capture it. White blocks with the bishop. That is a very nice checkmate. Knight to f3. So this is called a smothered mate. Notice the bishop cannot recapture the knight because it is pinned, and the king has nowhere to go. There are a few variations here where you have to keep in mind. So let's go back. Here in this position, instead of going for the fried liver attack, white might simply develop a piece. Knight to c3. As black, you can continue with your development. If you notice, white can still carry out the fried liver attack. White plays the obvious move, knight to g5. Now for black, the best thing to do here is to castle. Once you castle, it is very difficult for white to really trade in a rook and a pawn for a knight and a bishop, because you're still in the middle game and a knight and a bishop is much valuable than a rook in the corner. So suppose if you don't castle and if you think the counter that I showed you earlier would work, it certainly won't. The g2 pawn is still hanging. If you take, white can be mischievous by giving you a check. Notice now you can't capture the bishop, so you obviously have to move your king. Once you move your king, you lose the ability to castle. White will simply ping his bishop back to d5 with the tempo on the queen. If you capture the rook, you will lose your queen, so you obviously have to retreat to a safe square. The knight on c3 is protecting the bishop, so this is completely winning for white. So if you notice here, black's king is in an awkward position. White can still castle queen side. So going back, in this position, the best move for black is to simply castle. So that's about the fried liver attack. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, please hit the like button and also consider subscribing. Thank you all for watching. I will see you all again in my next video.